Hey, it's Tpok, and I'm back in Hate Plus. We have 4 left, so let's go. Election night 2. Yes, and this ship was a better place for it, you petty woman. Okay. From my internal logs, 9:01 p.m. in Joseon's office. Well, polls are now closed, I suppose, she said. Who even cares, I sighed. We both know that there might as well be only one candidate in the running now. 5 years of President and Chief Counselor Ryu. Like, maybe he'll invent some new titles for himself now that he has all the power on the ship. Grand Emperor Ryu. I lit a cigarette, wishing I could have gotten the emotional release out of it that the man I was imitating had gotten. Then I reflected on it, and remembered that it didn't get anything out of it either. It was just an addiction. What's that going to mean? She asked. I knew what she already knew exactly what the implications were. It means he's pretty much defanged the security veto since he'll have all the presidential override and all. I said, I can't believe this actually happened. I'm worried it was always with 5 more years of President Park. Like, I never thought it would be this. Has anything like this ever happened before? She asked. Yeah. In 2551, I said, recollecting the comparison that's been on my mind the most as of late. There was a revolution. It only lasted like 5 years by peasants who believed in total democracy. They managed to steal the root password and held the ship hostage until we surrendered. We had no choice. But it didn't last, right? You were able to put things right in the end, weren't you? She asked. Yeah, I trailed off. Yeah, but it was absolutely catastrophic. The star got irreparably damaged in the process. He was the ship's navigation AI, and those revolutionary fuckers killed him. Wait, what? Navigation AI? What? You didn't know? I had the mission patch with them on it. He was really cool. We got the people under control in the end, but the damage was already done. Like, if something that bad happens again, well, it can't, okay? It can't. What do we do now, then? She asked. I could only see fear and uncertainty in her eyes, and like, I was really wanted to say something to reassure her. I wanted to have a good answer. No, I don't know, but it makes sense. I don't know, so young, I said. I've got nothing. Break open the vintage 3899 if you got that kid from the last election, I guess. I think drinking vicariously through you is the best I can manage this evening. Oh, I forgot I'd been saving that for, well, it hardly matters anymore. I suppose I might as well, she said, getting up to find the bottle. I already knew what she had been saving it for anyway, her 20th anniversary. It would have been this year. It's not as if I think we'll have anything worth celebrating in the future. She popped the cork and poured herself a glass. Oh. I imitated her gesture, rendering a glass of my own into my hand. What should we toast? She asked. I don't know, I said, being too fucking old to handle this shit. She raised her glass to my screen. This is dynamic. It's really uncomfortable. You think so? Here's to being too fucking old to handle this shit, she said. The words didn't ring right coming from her, aside from when she was angry. Cursing never suited her. Cheers, I said. She took a long sip. She paused, reflecting on it. I thought it'd be better, she finally said. She took another sip. Then she laughed. It's awful. This is actually the worst wine I've tasted in my life. Good thing I didn't share it with my husband, she said, laughing uncomfortably again, going to pour her usual whiskey instead. This is the worst. It's like drinking vinegar. You know, counselor, this may as well have been actually be vinegar. Guess I should have anticipated that from a 150-year-old bottle of wine. As if something that old could be anything but worthless. I rolled my eyes. If only I could be like 150 and young again, I said. I'm better at dealing with those things, but I'm not that much better. Maybe I'd be less scared if I had 16,000 years of experience, she said. 16,000 years? I can't imagine though. Me neither. 1,000 more years wouldn't be... I couldn't. I don't know, So-young. I'm tired. I'm just so fucking tired, So-young. I said to her, taking a drag. Everything's changing, and these young men in politics are causing so much damage, and I'm just so tired. She moved her chair up close to my screen. How can you be tired? You're a computer. It's not as though you have a body that can age, she asked sympathetically. Well, I've made up all sorts of little processes that get increasingly bloated over time. Every time I get a new piece of input, I have to process it, cross-reference it against the data from all those years of experience in order to contextualize it, I told her. I'm not designed for this. I was only supposed to be around for 1,000 at most, okay? It just gets so tiring. I'm so sorry, she said to me, looking like she had taken it harshly. I feel as though I missed the last election night. We spent all night scrambling to put down protests. Things felt so simple and under control then. Look, So-young, we'll get through this. One fraudulent election isn't enough to render us powerless. I promise, okay? I promise you, I said. I'm just scared, ma'am. No, you shouldn't be able to. What the hell is wrong with this society? Putting her hand against the screen. I'm not allowed to be scared. I'm expected to be strong, commanding. I should be able to stare down any man. I should be able to keep on top of everything that happens to the ship. I should be able to protect my family. I should be able to raise my daughter. There's too much on me, and I failed too many times. I'm scared. I'm not allowed to be scared, but I'm scared. I know, it's okay. Look at me, I said, drawing my own hand touching hers, and trying my best to come up with her bravado. It was the best I could do to comfort her. I'm fucking mute. AI in charge of the Mugunghwa security operations. I've been keeping the Mugunghwa safe since 2390, and I will do whatever it takes to keep it that way if it kills me. Look at me. Look me in the eyes. It's under my responsibility to keep things under control, Lieutenant. All you have to do is follow orders. And believe me when I say things are going to be okay. They're going to be tough, but they're going to be okay. It's not your job to worry about that. Let me be strong. Let me be in control. I believe in you. Do you trust me, Lieutenant? Can you follow that order? Somehow this atmosphere feels really intimate. I know, it feels like it doesn't feel like they're a pair of women. It feels like... She stared at me, finishing her shot of whiskey in one. I had given this speech to her before, but she was still afraid to be so familiar to me, and I had much younger eyes. And I had given that speech to at least a dozen men and women in the past. I'm no longer to tell if it's bullshit or not. Yes, ma'am, she said quietly. Thank you. Oh, mute, you liar. But she's trying. Good, I said. Then believe me, we'll get through this okay. Just watch me. At that point, I checked the network for notifications, and as I suspected, the election results had come in for all that they mattered. Now, come on, get up, I said to her in my best approximation of a matronly voice. The election results are in 5 years of Chief Counselor, President, and President Ryu. Excuse me. Do we have a dossier yet on the biggest threat to the ship's security? It doesn't matter if she's trying. You know full well how this ends. That's not enough. This is false confidence. You mean Ryu? No, we don't, she said, her voice becoming less shaky. Well then, let's get it together, Lieutenant, I ordered her. Yes, ma'am, she said, confident again. Okay. So, on red, 3 left. But geez, that took me like 10 minutes. And this one's another long one. Huh. I wonder if that was the same house I was in, or... Not necessarily. The royal family has moved a lot. On Counselor Mute's orders, I attended Chief Counselor and now President Ryu's victory party on her behalf. I'll confess that I've managed to avoid most parties outside of my family for a very long time by choice, but this was an even more deeply alienating experience than I expected in light of that. The entire council excluding the Counselor of Security, of course, was in attendance, as well as various men from the Ryu family who were apparently involved in his campaign. And several of the electoral monitors, the one I stared down earlier this week included. We didn't talk. I wore my dress uniform there, as any sane person would, and I ended up being the only person wearing pants. Literally everyone else was wearing some manner of traditional clothing, a traditional attire or another. I asked around about this, and apparently it's been the fashion at all formal events for the past year now. I had no idea, having spent the time being preoccupied with matters vastly more important than nobles and their absurd, fabulous parties. So women like So Young were just disconnected from reality? This isn't about fashion, though. And I don't really know if this is relevant, but there was one thing that I found to be profoundly off-putting, excluding maids and entertainers. I was the only woman present in attendance. After a certain point in the evening, when the wine had flown freely for a while, the new President Ryu trotted out. Out of all people, my long-estranged niece, Hyo Aejong. It's not weird. Why would a woman like you even want to be there? Hyo Aejong. Oh, I remember her. Wait, she's your niece? Well, she sang dramatic love songs in uncomfortably intimate quarters with several counselors. I discreetly interrogated one of the maids. Evidently, Aejong had been unable to support herself and her younger sister based off theater income anymore. Her younger sister. Apparently, Hyo Aejong had a little sister that was close to her, and was now living under Ryu's roof, providing entertainment for his visitors. I'm utterly certain that Aejong is an only child, but never mind that for now. A better family head wouldn't be so oblivious. Wait, she doesn't have a little sister? Then who does she mean? I think she means the girl, what was her name? Minna? Jinna. Neither me nor her father have spoken to her at all in well over a decade, but I assumed she had continued to have a successful career. I don't understand what happened. This probably isn't relevant to anything political, but since she's part of our family, I thought you should know. Oh, her. Okay. Past that, I learned very little of any value from attending, I'm afraid. And if the counselors present were willing to share more than the same blindly stilted pleasantries you would have gotten from them, I can only really report back a couple of things of value. Firstly, as I suspected, the electoral monitor responsible for arresting President Park is on very close speaking terms with Ryu. I don't know if that's useful, but it's confirmation at least. The second most important thing is not good. I overheard a very drunk counselor of justice who didn't realize I was standing nearby saying, and I quote, "We've tried to get it out of him, but it looks like the only person who knows the password is that bitch." Fortunately, I wasn't able to make out anything more from him, thanks to some very loud singing from Aejong drowning them out. Beyond that, I was unable to learn anything else. There's nothing of tremendous use in there, I'm afraid, and that is my report for today. I think I like the report with the potted plant thing better. This is awfully well. It's no place for a noblewoman, that's for sure. And they don't want to talk. And I don't think I have time to start another one. Yeah, no way. That's way too long. Because one scroll only went that far down. Yeah, that's way too long. Way too long. I gotta read that though. And yeah, I might just end it here, because I'm gonna have to end it in a couple minutes anyway, because I gotta go. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.